Coming up next on Arizona Horizon, the latest on the Phoenix Coyotes ownership saga includes questions on the true cost of operating Jobbing.com Arena. We'll hear why some are concerned that housing prices in the Valley are increasing too much, too fast. And we'll meet a Valley man who opened up a home in Africa for children orphaned by AIDS. Those stories next on Arizona Horizon.
Arizona Horizon is made possible by contributions from the Friends of 8, members of your Arizona PBS station. Thank you.
Good evening and welcome to Arizona Horizon. I'm Ted Simons. The true cost of operating Glendale's Jobbing.com Arena is now a significant point of contention in efforts to keep the Phoenix Coyotes in town. The Arizona Republic's Paul Giblin has been following the story and joins us now. It's good to see you again. Thanks for joining us.
Nice to see you too, Ted.
There seems to be a disconnect now on how much it really costs to operate that arena. Talk to us.
Well, it's something of a mythical figure that no one could quite get their hands on. At least no one in the city could get their hands on. But I found it on the city's website. The city right now is soliciting a new manager for the arena. And as part of the solicitation package, they put the profit and loss statements from the current company that's operating the arena. It's operated actually by a subsidiary of the NHL called Arena Newco. And so there they were. There's the profit and loss statements for the past 3 years.
And it sounds as though the true costs are what, $5-6 million bucks?
They're 5.1 million one year. They're 5.5 million another year. And keep in mind that it costs more than that to operate the arena. But the manager gets some money back. So when you do all the math, it comes out to 5.5 million and 5.1 million.
And Glendale has been paying how much?
Well, that's an interesting question. They agreed to pay the NHL $25 million. Now, I mean, you can make a lot of different arguments that the money could attract business to that development out there and come back through taxes and that sort of thing. But if you go to the videotape, Glendale's very good about videotaping all their city council meetings. And you look at those old meeting videotapes, they say very specifically, this is not to subsidize the team. This is strictly for management of the arena. So that was $25 million. The city agreed to do that twice. And then their last dealings with a potential buyer for the team, they agreed to pay him, a guy named Greg Jameson, $15 million a year.
So who figured these costs out? Who figured out that 5155 makes sense, and who also decided that 2025 was a good deal?
Well, the answer to the first question, these are the profit and loss statements from the NHL subsidiary that's running it. So that's pretty authoritative. If the NHL says this is our profit and loss statement and this is what it costs, that's tough to argue with. Now the decisions to pay more than that, the $25 million and then later the $15 million, which didn't happen, but those are decisions by the city council.
Okay, so, again, the variation here is huge. What's going on? How did it get this way? What's happening out there?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, if you listen to what the people were saying, they said it was strictly for the management of the arena. But when you look at the profit and loss statements, it's much more. As I said, you could throw in other things. If you want to say there's maintenance involved in a huge building like that. If it included maintenance, that might push up the number. But that's not what anyone ever said leading up to those decisions. Yeah.
What kind of reaction are you getting from city officials on this?
You know, the interesting thing, Ted, I took the profit and loss statements. As I said, were available on the website, and I showed it to the mayor and to several of the city council members, and I said, hey, what do you think of this? And they said, what is that? And I said, well, this is the NHL's figures about how much it costs to run. And they looked at it and said, wow, I'm completely unaware of that. And without exception, that's what they said. Wow. And then I floated around to other people who would be in the know to make sure that it was correct. And they said, well, that's it, yep.
So it sounds as though, and you reported that for the fiscal year 14 budget now, Glendale is penciling in about $6 million for operating costs.
They're penciling in exactly $6 million. That budget has gone through a lot of public hearings, a lot of public meetings. They're arguing about whether they can pay a deficit that the fire department is supposed to have. This is very interesting. The fire department said we have a deficit. We don't have money for fuel for the trucks and for maintenance on the trucks because our call volume is going right through the roof. The city council said, well, we don't have money to cover that. And the fire chief said, I'm going to end up probably closing a fire station unless you cover this. And they said, we still don't have the money for it. So, I mean, that's how tight things are in Glendale right now. And that number is $6 million in the budget, and who knows if they can wiggle off of
Well,
that.
and with $6 million, and you had all these offers of 15 to 20, and who knows what up there. How does that impact negotiations now to keep the Coyotes in Glendale?
Well, that's a good question too. Now, keep in mind that the city had a deal with a guy named Greg Jameson. He was a CEO of the San Jose Sharks. He was going to buy the team. He had until December 31st of this year to buy the team to get a management deal with the city. And the city was going to pay him $15 million. Now, shortly after he didn't come up the money and the deal voided out and he went away, then a bunch of other potential buyers started showing up. One guy in particular named Anthony LeBlanc. He appears very strongly to be the front runner now. Now, way back then, I spoke to him. He said he was interested, but he would need a deal similar to the one that Jameson had for $15 million. He said there might be some wiggle room there, but it has to be pretty close to that. So now, months later, as I said, he's in the front with another rich guy named George Gosby. They're both Canadians and a few other investors. And presumably, he hasn't changed. I've tried talking to him recently. He's not speaking now.
Is there any likelihood that someone would buy the team but not operate the arena? Because that seems highly unlikely from a distance. It sounds like all this extra money was thrown in there to attract buyers. And even if Holsizer couldn't get folks to help him out and join his team with that kind of money thrown in, $6 million, $8 million, good luck, fella.
I don't know. I mean, those are finances that are held, outside of my earshot. I don't know how they can make it happen. I don't know. Perhaps these new investors think $6 million is enough. Perhaps they don't. I don't know. We'll have to see how it shapes up in the next several weeks.
Do you think, though, that someone would buy the team but not operate the arena?
I would think not. And in fact, I'll tell you no, because I've spoken to all the front runners in this thing, not just LeBlanc's group, but the other groups, and they all said that the management component is vital to their particular interest in buying the team. So without that, I don't see it happening.
So LeBlanc is this Renaissance Sports and Entertainment, correct?
Correct.
And you have them as the first line, as I think you reported it there.
That's how
nicely put. A first line, though, but I mean, a first line and what? It doesn't sound very good, to be quite honest. It sounds like, and we report on this all the time, Paul. I mean, how many stories we've done with the Coyote? Are they staying? Are they going? It sure does seem like they're starting to skate away.
I'm not sure. It's hard for me to read. I will tell you that group, that Renaissance Sports and Entertainment, these are some guys with some deep pockets.
Yeah.
These are guys with deep pockets and a high interest in hockey. As I said, the two leading guys are Canadians, and they see that the market could work because the new alignment with the NHL will put the Coyotes in a division where they would expect to get a lot of Canadian hockey fans coming down from Canada to watch the game and get some hot weather and get out of the snow and watch hockey as well. So they think it can work. I mean, I don't know if it will work, though. We'll have to see. Okay, so it sounds like with potential bids in late May and then the Glendale budget early June. I mean, it's coming up here. It's coming up. There's about 3 weeks from when the bids are due for the management deal until the city council is supposed to approve the budget. All right. Paul, great work. Good to have you here. Thanks for joining us. Thanks. Great to be on the show again.
Get the inside scoop on what's happening at Arizona PBS. Become an 8 Insider. You'll receive weekly updates on the most anticipated upcoming programs and events. Get the 8 Insider delivered to your email inbox. Visit azpbs.org to sign up today.
A new ASU report shows that the median price for a single-family home in the Phoenix area was at $175,000. That's up 30% year over year, and it's got some housing analysts concerned. Joining us now is Arizona Republic real estate reporter Catherine Rager and economist Jim Rounds of the Elliott D. Pollock and Company. Good to have you both here. Thanks for joining us. We had Standard & Poor's case show 23%. Now we have ASU 30%. Prices are skyrocketing.
Well, it's only up, I think, almost 4% from March. So we've had this steady 4% every month. So over a year, 30% is nice. We've had some slowdown. We've had months where it was faster. It's nice to see a median price of $175 instead of $119 if you're a homeowner, but not if you're a buyer.
Yes.
That's tough.
So what's going on out here, Jim? Why are these prices doing this?
Well, keep in mind where we were not that long ago. Prices fell significantly. So we had this really low base to work off of. So when you're working off of a low number, it's easy to post these strong rates of growth. We're realizing some growth in population finally, some growth in employment. But then the real estate market kind of has to work through some unusual things that happened also. So we were expecting to have a pretty decent rate of growth this last year and maybe even a little bit into this next year. But it's not sustainable over a 5 or 6 year period. So people need to temper their expectations some.
The idea of, we heard oversupply. We kept hearing that year after year. Now we're starting to hear too few homes available?
Yes, I guess undersupply is what you would say, and particularly with $150,000 or less. Very tight market. And then so we're seeing fewer investors, but investors are still out there. I think like 29 to 30% of the deals were cash deals with investors, but they're mostly buying $250,000 and below. And so really to balance the market, we need some more sellers, some more homeowners who feel like they're not underwater. And, you know. Yeah.
As far as this investor activity, is that a concern? I mean, 30, 40, that's a lot of, and it seems like, is it sustaining or is it dipping a little bit?
It's going to start to slow some. We were around 45% of sales were to investors not that long ago, about a year and a half ago. And the question is, what are the investors going to do with their homes? Because we did overbuild. Now, right now, these homes are being held by the investors, so they're not up for sale. That's why there's a temporary shortage. You know, prices are set based on what's available right now today, not necessarily what's based on what's going to be available in 2 or 3 years. So if the investors put all these homes back on the market over a very short time frame, we have a problem. But so far they're talking about putting the homes back on the market over 6 or 7 years, and some of them are just going to keep renting the product. So we're not even going to see much of a blip in the economic data if they do this slowly, and that's the key.
Is that what you're seeing as far as the investor market as well? I mean, does it seem like there's a little bit of patience here?
Yeah, not seeing, and there's smart money behind this. These are, this is Wall Street money, big money. The really big buyers, Blackstone, Colony Capital, they say they're going to hold on, and I still see them buying a few homes, not a lot, but no, have not seen them put it on the market. It's the smaller investors, kind of they say the first generation investors who bought in 2009, 2010, who can now sell to these bigger investors and make money.
Even so, it seems as though, we were all here back in 2006 and 2007 when things went topsy-turvy here. Compare and contrast what's happening now with what happened then.
Okay, well, we overbuilt by a lot of units. In Greater Phoenix, about 80,000 units. Prices fell significantly. There were lots of problems in the mortgage market, so we troughed. And then slowly we started getting back to more normal conditions. So we had the investors come in that stopped the bleeding. So that actually helped stabilize prices. Then it also helped push prices up quite a bit over the last couple of years. That's part of the reason we saw that 30% increase. But what you're going to end up seeing is that 30% is going to give way to maybe 15% this next year. And then I think we're going to get back down to 10%. Now, compared to 30, that doesn't sound like a lot. But compared to the long-term average of 3 to 4%, that's not too bad. But you have to have those rates of growth to get the market back to normal by the end of this decade.
Yeah, and again, you were mentioning the rates of growth should somewhat, and you're saying really 4% per month, but I mean, that will ease here shortly.
Yes, I mean, we're in prime home buying season, from January to June, and so we could see that ease in August, and buyers, it is tough for regular buyers to get a loan right now. The lending guidelines are really tough.
Is that still going on?
They say first-time home buyers, I think, have a little bit better of a shot because of the programs out there, but I'm talking to people who are the documentation that's needed, and it is, 10 to 15% down. But that's not such a bad thing for the market.
What about the impact of those who did walk away from their homes? Those stories were legion. I mean, they're out there. Those folks are still probably having some trouble rustling up some cash, huh?
Yeah, well, fortunately, we had the investors come in, and then some people are saying unfortunately because prices spiked up quite a bit, but I think it was needed to stop the bleeding. I think it's good to have the home in your neighborhood rented rather than vacant and having the weeds in the yard. I think that it was a good thing overall. It depends on how we're going to work our way out of the investors. Right now, 22% of the market is for rent. Normally, it's around 12. Normal conditions are going to probably be around 15.
What is that doing to the rental market out there?
The rental market has become more competitive on the housing market, except now I'm hearing on the apartment side flattening out a little bit, that we have so many rental homes that now it's hurting on the apartment side. But last summer is when it really picked. I mean, there were people last August standing in line at rental homes, 6 contracts coming in. So because there are more rental homes out there, but as we said, with population growth and more people coming here, we'll see. And I am also hearing that some of these investors are looking at selling to the renters. So we've seen that trend come out.
Right, a large percentage of those renting the homes want to turn around and buy them. And so that's why, to some extent, those homes are kind of absorbed. They're being rented right now, but it's really a paperwork issue in terms of a person renting versus owning permanently. So we're not in as bad a situation as we initially thought. But again, I still think it comes down to the investors. The plan for them is not to just dump all the product and run like it was initially. They were originally talking about maybe a 2-year hold and then exiting the market. Now it's over a longer period, but you're seeing improvement in the other economic data too. Last year, some of those non-normal type resales, it was about 1/3 of the market. The ones that you typically think, not the bank-owned properties or foreclosures. Now it's 2/3 of the market. So we're seeing some underlying conditions, not just the prices improve as well.
Real quickly, housing reflects economy. Economy reflects housing. What's chicken, what's egg?
In Arizona, it's a little of both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically,
we're moving in the right direction in most economic categories, and housing's moving in the right direction too. But if we see a 30% increase again for another year, then there's some stuff going on. It's going to cause some imbalances, and we could have some problems. You see 10 to 15%, we're going to be okay.
Last question. Foreclosures, what's the situation?
Down. 900 last month, 900 the month before. Haven't been at that level since 2007. And I just would make this comment. Don't you love that now that we are talking about regular home sales, we have to call them normal home sales because we've been doing foreclosures and short sales and auctions are along. We're back to, pretty soon we won't have to say normal resales, just sales.
It's also nice to have a discussion on housing prices and the housing market and not have to be all doom and gloom. So let's hope that hangs on a little bit. Good to see you both here. Thanks for joining us. Every month on Arizona Horizon, our Giving and Leading segment looks at folks doing good things in the world. And tonight we learn about a local family that used their life savings to open a home in South Africa for children orphaned by AIDS. Joining me now is Bob Solis of Open Arms Home, which is now home to over 50 children. It is good to have you here. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
And congratulations on give us a better definition of Open Arms Home.
Yeah, it's a residential facility, Ted, for children who have lost their parents to AIDS in South Africa, which is a particularly bad problem. So most of these children come to us with the shirts on their backs and we will raise them to adulthood. So it's a residential home. You're based here, you live here. How did all this start? My wife and I have 5 children of our own. And about 10 years ago, we took our family on a mission trip of our own. And we worked in an orphanage in South Africa because we wanted our kids to see how the other half of the world lived. And we saw so many children in need from this AIDS problem that we came home, thought and prayed about it, and we had been saving up to pay off our house for many years. We said, oh, what the heck, that's why they invented 30-year mortgages, and we took that money and bought a farm.
When you went on the trip, what did you expect to see? And was there a moment when everything kind of went, this is what we should be thinking about?
Yeah, it was when we went out into the community, what they call townships or we'd call slums, and you saw so many children just wandering around, and you'd ask people, what's this child's story? And a next-door neighbor would be taking care of the child because they didn't know what else to do. They weren't related. And you just saw this over and over and tugged on our hearts, and we just, we're very blessed to be a part of it.
What kind of response did you get from folks in the community? The kids are obviously, they're having a great time. They look like they're doing pretty doggone well. But what about folks in the community? What kind of response did you get?
We were welcomed with open arms, pardon the pun. There is such a need for children's homes there, and there's an overwhelming need that people really stepped up, and local farmers gave us meat and dairy, and people knitted sweaters, and they've been very, very kind to us locally. Kind
to you locally. What about here? What about your family, your friends? I mean, it's one thing to say, I'm going to take a motorcycle trip, or I'm going to have a midlife cry. I'm going to open a home for orphan kids in South Africa. What'd you hear?
Well, psychological counseling was one of the suggestions. But, we have a very supportive family, and so, and a big extended family here in Arizona, and they were all very supportive, although probably scratching their heads a little bit. But we started small and got the first child in 2006, and we've been adding 10 to 12 children a year ever since.
And as far as challenges now, what are some of the things you ran into that maybe you didn't expect?
Sure. The distance, of course, is the number one challenge. When you're trying to run an organization on the other side of the world and you're living here in Arizona, that becomes very problematic. We have American executive directors, a couple from Virginia that runs it for us, and they're doing a great job, so we're very pleased about that. And so we do the best we can to stay in touch, but the distance is probably the hardest thing. Probably the most unexpected blessing of the thing has been giving people jobs. The unemployment rate around there is about 50%, and we have 43 paid staff members at this point, and so it's been great giving them jobs.
When we saw the kids, they were obviously happy, they were having fun, playing and dancing and just being kids, but I know that there has to be some kind of emotional need going on there. There have to be physical needs going on there. What have you run into?
No question. We have a master's level play therapist that comes every Thursday and Friday to work through some of the issues. Obviously, our children have issues with separation, with wondering about where their family is, etc. And so we work through those issues as best we can. And then, of course, we have a couple children themselves that are HIV positive, and so we have to attend to their needs. But they're doing great. They're on medication and doing super.
Now, the first kid you said was what year?
2006.
Okay, is that child still in the home?
He still is, yes.
And now how's he growing? How's he seeing the world?
He's doing great. His name is Safundo, and in his local language, Xhosa, that means a lesson, and he's taught us a lot of lessons about resiliency and how to keep moving forward in your life. And all of our kids are so resilient. It's pretty inspirational to know them.
How big a problem is AIDS in Africa in general and South Africa in particular?
Yeah, it's a big problem in sub-Saharan Africa. Some countries are further ahead in the fight than others. South Africa was one of the last countries to join the fight. And so as a result, 18 to 20% of the adult population is HIV positive. Well, in a country of 45 million people, you can imagine the toll that takes. And so because most of the people passing away from it are 20 to 40 years old, they have a lot of kids, and there's a lot of kids with no place to go.
But they have a place to go now. Expansion plans, what's going on?
Yeah, we have beds right now for 70 with 53 kids. So over the next couple of years, we'll get to 70. At that point, we'll kind of catch our breath and see what's going on. But we hope if we expanded beyond that, we'd build another campus because we want to maintain a family atmosphere. It's very important to us that it not get too large so that it doesn't become an institution.
A question for you. I mean, you work full-time doing something else.
Yes.
How do you find the time for this?
It's turned into my golf hobby instead, which is fine because I'm terrible at golf. But it's nights and weekends and whatever we can do, and speaking at churches and Rotary clubs. And it's a great privilege, actually. So I don't look at it as work. It's one of those things where you feel like you're doing what you're supposed to be doing.
And it sounds like you actually walked across a major part of South Africa to raise money?
Yes. Next time I'll take the bus. Yeah, in 2008, we're out of space, and we were out of funds, at least on a personal basis. So we had a fundraiser where I walked 720 miles across the country. And it was great adventure, and we raised about $250,000 to build more cottages.
Wow. Last question.
Sure.
Do you ever sit back? I was joking before. I was saying you must sleep awfully well for doing this kind of work. Do you ever sit back, though, and just look at the ceiling or just look outside and just marvel or wonder at what you've done?
I will tell you, my favorite thing at Open Arms, without exception, is to sit inside, even though I love playing with kids, and watch the children playing.
Yeah.
Because what happens with children who have suffered like this is they lose their childhood. They lose their sense of joy and play because they're begging to stay alive. So my favorite thing is to just sit and watch them play, because I think Open Arms has given them a great gift, which is their childhood back.
Well, you talk about a blessing. That must be a blessing and a half for you and certainly for them. Continued good work and congratulations. This is a fantastic story.
Well, thank you very much, Ted.
Good to have you here.
Appreciate it.
And tomorrow on Arizona Horizon, we will take a look at how the sequester is affecting Arizona, and we'll learn about an effort to cut down on radiated heat from Phoenix rooftops. That's Tuesday evening, 5:30 and 10, right here on Arizona Horizon. That is it for now. I'm Ted Simons. Thank you so much for joining us. You have a great evening.
Arizona Horizon is made possible by contributions from the Friends of 8, members of your Arizona PBS station. Thank you.